G'day. Thanks for joining me again. Hope you're all doing well out there in these strange and crazy times. However, these are necessary times and something that's been foretold for some time, and we're in the midst of this great transition into something new, which we still are trying to figure out what that looks like. Today I wanted to touch upon about our four-body system and what that entails and how that relates to each one of us. So let's look at that quickly. We each have a four-body system, okay? So a lot of you may be aware of this, so let's just break that down and look at it quickly. We each have a physical body, pretty obvious, and the physical body is what we need to nourish with our food and water and to exercise and to really take care of the physical body. Takes a concerted effort to do whatever it needs to keep ourselves well and fit as we can so that the physical body will stay healthy and live a long, prosperous life. We also have a mental body, which is our mind, our thought process, the mental activity that goes on inside of us. Now, the mental body is very active depending on where we are directing our thoughts on an ongoing basis. So is our mental body directed towards negativity and looking at what's wrong and being the victim, or are we using our mental body in a positive way through positive thoughts and affirmations and directing our thoughts with that awareness towards that which we want to experience rather than the negative side, which tends to drag us down. But then we have the emotional body. Now, the emotional body obviously is our feelings, how we feel in any given day. But the emotional body is driven by the mental body, because if we have negative victim thoughts, then that will affect the emotional body in a negative way. You don't feel good. If you're having fearful, negative thoughts, then your emotions will be in a fearful, negative state in a reaction to those thoughts. When you have positive thoughts and loving thoughts and exciting thoughts and creative thoughts, then your body responds differently, where it's much more high vibration, positive energy, and feeling good and feeling excited by life. There's a big difference, and we are in charge of that, and it makes a huge difference in our reality and our lives as we go through the years. Then the fourth body is our spiritual body, or it's called our energetic body, referred to as our aura. It's the energy, it's the vibe that we emit. We've heard that saying, when you meet a new person and you like their vibe. Well, that's the spiritual body, the energy around that person, which is impacted by the other three. So if you're in a good physical, healthy condition and you've got healthy, positive, loving thoughts and you're feeling great, then your vibe and your spiritual, energetic body respond to that. And so your vibe will be high and good, and people will just love to be around you, actually. We've all had that experience. You meet people who are a bit of a downer and negative and woe is me. You don't like to be around them. It doesn't feel great. We can have compassion for them, but if it doesn't make us feel good, then why? And then as compared to other people who feel good and are great and they're positive and always uplifting, and then you feel great. You want to be around them because you feel good and ride off their vibration. Then we can learn how to create that for ourselves. So they're the four bodies that we have within us, but they all work together to create our spiritual body, our essence of who we are and what we bring to the world. We're all born as that innocent child that basically has no concept, no programming, no idea about what life is about or what the journey that they're in for, actually. So as a child, we're all born with that clean slate, that innocence, that purity. And from the moment we're born, or even before we're born in the mother's womb, and if our mothers are having a good pregnancy and a good period through that time and feeling good and quite well and positive, then we feel that and we can tend to take that on even before we're born. On the opposite of that, if it's a difficult pregnancy and the mother is sick a lot and it's struggle, and then that can affect the child from the womb as well. So we're impacted right from the very beginning. But as soon as we're born, apart from what we experienced in the mother's womb, we have a clean slate. We have no idea about anything. And from that moment, we are then influenced by all those around us, our parents, our peers, our siblings, depending on your birth order. It affects everything and how we grow up to see ourselves. So our thinking process, our beliefs are basically shaped right from the get-go, depending on our situation, our circumstances, our social standing, what our culture, our religion. All those things affect us as we grow up to become an independent, free-thinking adult, without realizing that what we experience growing up impacts us in huge ways that will affect and shape our lives. So when we see people who have a different opinion from us, it's only that they have experienced a different upbringing, a different reality, and so it's okay to allow others to have different beliefs and thoughts that we do. It's natural. The key is these days, can we allow another to have a different opinion from me, from you, without judging them or without making them wrong or outcasting them because they don't believe the same as you do? This has been an issue in humanity for a long time, and it's something we need to work on, because everybody's entitled to their own thoughts, their own beliefs, and we're all different. So the whole point of this experience is, as we grow, because that's the nature of life, is to grow and evolve. To do that, though, you have to be open enough and aware enough to understand that we don't know everything. In fact, we know very little. So it's about evolving and growing and being open to new information, being open to new ideas, and to maybe let go, or be prepared to let go of some of the old programming and beliefs that no longer serve or don't support us to be the best that we can be. Then we need to be open enough and understanding enough to let those go and to embrace new ideas and beliefs that can help us grow and evolve into a higher level of awareness, or a higher level of love, really, and light, where we become more compassionate and empathic, we become kinder and more loving towards others, and have tolerance and acceptance for the differences that we all have here. Moving forward now, we're in the midst of this huge transition on the planet. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, it is the war. There's a war on out there, and it's for control of the collective consciousness. It's for the control of how we think as a collective and how we think individually. And that's where we have to be really mindful of what we are going to listen to and what we're going to take on as truth. Because, we've been programmed basically to believe anything and everything that's told to us in the mainstream media is true. And so we just take that on as truth without even questioning. Well, today, I think many of us are beginning to see through that approach, where what we're being told is not always necessarily true. So how do we know that? Well, you've got to be open enough to say, you know what, I'm not sure if I buy that. I'm not going to just blindly believe it. I'm going to do my own research into understanding maybe this subject a little more so I can be more informed and make a more informed choice. And if you still have the same belief after you've done your research, great. But if you find that you go into it and you realize that there's something amiss or there's information that we haven't been told, then that gives you an opportunity to be open to shift and change, which affects everything in your life. Because life responds to our vibration and our frequency, and our vibration and frequency is determined by our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And when that's in alignment and in a very high frequency, and we're positive and we're loving and we're upbeat, then life will reflect that around us through our experiences. And likewise, if we're in negative, fearful place, then we will attract challenges and struggles that will help it, that will manifest those very beliefs and limitations for us to then decide, or do I still want to keep this belief, or do I want to upgrade it to a new one, a more evolved one, which will impact my life? Because ultimately this is all about our own lives individually to become the best that we can be. And as we do that collectively, then the collective consciousness is moving into a higher frequency and evolution to begin to shift this world into a new state, into a new vibration, into a new reality where it is for the people, by the people, where we can support each other and have a reality and a world that is so amazing. It's beyond our comprehension. Like we can choose to experience whatever it is we want once we move into that deep belief of who we are and understanding that we are all very powerful co-creators. And when we come together in groups and we focus on the same vision, it becomes so much more powerful that we begin to experience these changes on a collective level. So just think about that. Where are you in your own spiritual growth? Do you feel that you've got room to improve? And well, we all do. Room to improve and become more and experience more and have more and do more in alignment with what it is that really excites you and you're passionate about in life. Because we need to ignite that passion in people and get them excited about life and living and tapping into their abilities and their gifts to help other people. Because we're moving into this stage now where we have to deal with the old traumatic stuff that we still carry in our body, which we talked about in the last video, that whatever we carry that is of lower frequency from our trauma and our wounds that hasn't been dealt with, then we will be subjected to or exposed to people and situations that will trigger us to bring up those emotions so we can clear to anchor more light. This impacts every area of our life. The first thing is, though, we need to develop that relationship with ourselves and understand who we are at our true essence, to understand that we are here for a purpose to make a difference, and then to go about finding what it is within us that we bring here, that we're coded with, to help and assist in this transition so we can help others. That's the key here. So that's where I'll leave it for now. Please like, share, subscribe if you feel this information is of assistance to you. Post any questions that I can follow up on with future videos, and we can start this conversation. So I appreciate your time and your attention. I hope you're all doing really well out there. Where are we now? We're in beginning of October 2023. We're entering into a pretty critical phase this next few weeks globally. There's going to be a lot that's coming out that will test you, that will trigger you, that will get you to question, and this is a powerful place to be in. So all I'm going to encourage you to do is to follow through. Don't be locked into it's this way or it's that way, because evolution is things always change. will always change. So be open to letting go of, if it's fearful, if it's limiting, if it's negative, if it's a victim, we need to let it go so we can move into that more loving space, knowing who we are, bringing our gifts and abilities to the forefront so we can help others in this shift. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to next time. All the best. Cheers.